Welcome back to Emulating Messi. In today's video we're going to be holidaying until all our players are 24 years old. Thank you for all the support on the series so far, it really does mean a lot. Please smash the like button on today's video as well if you are enjoying the series. So you join me in June 2020 where our players are now 22 years old. Like I said at the start, I'm going to holiday another couple of years until we're all 24 years old. Things are going very well for a lot of the players, as you can see here. The top player is still Stephen Wolf Jr. and he has reached the promised land. He has managed to get to 200 current ability by the age of 22. That is some achievement. So what a player this player has turned out to be. I have uploaded the database and the player shortlist. Links I'll put in the description below once again if you missed them in the last video. A few people have been holidaying into the future on these saves already. It's great to see there's a few different things going on. Like, it's not always the same players at the top of the list. It really does vary by save. Every save is different because of the random factor of Football Manager. For example, Stephen Wolf Jr. may not move to Man United. He may move to a different team and they may not play him much and he may struggle. In other saves we'll see some players growing incredibly well to, really high current ability, and in other saves they may really flop. So it does depend on your save completely. There's so many different variables that can affect a player's development, remember. But anyhow, this is what's happened in my save. Stephen Wolf Jr. is out on top. We've still got Lee Gamble in second place current ability wise, but there's plenty of players with over 190 current ability. Messi Lionel has now reached 194 current ability. I think that was his potential, so I don't think he's going to grow any more past that, unfortunately. But still, he's done really, really well, considering he started on 125 current ability. The next best 125 ability player is Felix Alfred, a Swedish player, 183 at the moment. I'm sure he'll continue to progress actually, because he's doing really well at the moment. If I just scroll down the list so you can see your player, and you can just see a few different things about them. There's so many world-class players on this. I would say anything above 175 would be considered a world-class player. I don't know what you think, but that's what I would say anyway. Maybe 170 even. Over 100, I mean, all the players are class players on the save, even those with 135 current ability. I can't remember who the lowest is at the moment. Let's go to the bottom of the list. It is actually Fabara, who still doesn't have a club. I hope he finds a club in this part because his development is being stilted by the fact he's not finding a club. He is still wanted by a few teams, a lot of teams, but I don't understand why they're not signing him. He's got international caps. He's still getting capped by Nigeria, so surely there shouldn't be any problems with work permits. It's just a bit odd, really. And Ranil Surya is now not the worst player because of that fact. Because Fabara is trapped away from any club, his development is not progressing. But Surya's is. He's moved to Olympiacos on loan, as you can see there. So let's go through and have a look at a few things. So the highest wage, it's Marcus Gran, Howardinho and Stephen Wolf Jr. They're all on 300 grand a week now. So it's interesting that we've got a few other players progressing. Lowest wage out of the players that are actually playing it is Nami Inns Games on 3.7k a week at New York City. Value wise, Stephen Wolf Jr. is now top. £65 million he is worth. We'll just have a quick glance at him so you can have a look at his profile for those interested. As always, there'll be an Emulating Messi extra. It'll be episode 3 and I will show all the players in detail. So if you want to have a look at your player or the player you're supporting, go and check that out. They are really long videos, but you can always skip through to the bits that you're interested in. Because I'm showing every single player, that's why the videos are like an hour and a half long. It's crazy. I don't know why I'm doing it because it's just killing me. But I'm doing it for you. I'm sacrificing myself for your enjoyment, I guess. That sounds a bit wrong. Sam Morris is second biggest value, 64 million. Ragnarsson is third. Gamble, there's lots of players that are worth a hell of a lot of money. Lowest value, of course, it is Fabara because he's not got a club. But then we've got Jordi Fences Terrified, only worth 550k now. Man United are ruining him. He needs to get out of there because, he has progressed a bit to 149 current ability. That's not too bad. But they are preventing him from reaching a much higher potential. Jeremy Corbyn, worth under $1 million as well, as is Nami Inns Games. So the most capped player at this stage is still Christian Gopi on 54 caps. Aidan Broderick, the Irishman, is on 50. Lots of players with plenty of caps at this stage, which is great to see. There's still a few players that haven't managed to earn a cap. They're all English, so it's only English players that haven't earned caps yet. Can any of these get some caps in this episode? Hopefully. We'll find out, won't we? Top goal scorer is still Chris Reed. He's dropped off a bit. 38 goals in 45 games is still an impressive record. Can Daniel Carter catch him though on 32 goals in 49? This is the youth caps situation. There might be still a chance to get a few more caps simply because, remember, if you're under the age of 21 when a Euro Championship qualifying commences, they can still play in the actual tournament. So you do sometimes get under 20, like players who are 23 playing in the under 21 competition. But surely by the end of this episode today, they will have finished playing all their youth caps. But Matt White, Sorrentino and Woodhouse all on, Sorrentino and Matt White on 35, Woodhouse on 33 caps. Most youth goals is still Cesar Sarri, 17 and 15. He's now playing for the Turkish first team and doing very well. All-time appearances, Stephen Wolf Jr. on 278. All-time goals is actually still Stephen Jr. as well. Stephen Wolf Jr. on 103. So he's broken the 100-goal barrier. The first player to do so, in fact. Jack Osborne has dropped off a little bit. He's fallen down to third place. If we just look at the past season, Lee Gamble, once again with the most appearances, he is just a machine. He gets so many games under his belt for Arsenal, as you can see there. Doesn't score a huge number of goals, but he is an assists machine, you'll see in a minute. Stephen Wolf Jr., 30 goals this season. Polina Montraria has really progressed here. 29 goals for Atletico Madrid, that is some record. He was sort of, I think I called him okay in the last episode in Emulating Messi Extra episode 2, but he is actually a good player. He has progressed and he's scoring goals for Atletico Madrid. Assist wise, it's actually Stephen Wolf Jr. as well. He is just ridiculously good. Surely he's going to win World Player of the Year. We'll have a look at the end of this episode to see if he has managed to win it. But you can see here, highest average rating as well. He just cannot be stopped. He really can't. Now, we did have a funny thing occur in Emulating Messi episode 2 that I do need to explain in this, because a lot of you won't have seen this. But you'll notice that there are there's one Max Springer and there's also a Max Spinger. So we've got 3 English keepers now. Now this happened because when I was checking the database for players against my list of players, I was making sure that no one had been missed out. I was looking down the list, I typed in Max Springer and I couldn't find him. So I created Max Springer in the database. As it happens, I did create Max Springer, but I misspelt his name. It was Max Spinger. So that's why we've got 2 goalkeepers very similar. But it's actually Max Spinger that is slightly better. 181 current ability, Springer's on 180. And Spinger actually has 20 England caps, where Springer only has 7. It's also unfortunately keeping Mark Poole at the England team. He's only got 2 caps for England, despite a very good current ability himself. Funnily enough, Max Springer moved to Hull City on a free just as Springer left Hull City. That is just such a bizarre coincidence. Springer's actually moved to Chelsea this season, so he's gone up in the world. Perhaps he'll push Spinger out of the England team. So are you Team Springer or Team Spinger? Let me know. It's just quite fun. These mistakes happen and it's just quite amusing in a way. But we're going to be tracking the career of both of them. I did think about deleting Spinger, but nah, he has to stay just for these funny reasons, really. Right then, I've holidayed another year. It's now June 2021. These are the players. You can see there's a few differences, but first of all we're going to have a look at the European Championships of 2020 to see who won it. As you can see, England won Euro 2020, beating Spain in the final. So all those English players that we've produced, that I've created on the game, have helped England easily, convincingly win this. Ireland also got through to a semi-final, but they lost against Spain. And England beat Croatia in the other semi-final. Then England won on penalties. I can't see the game for some reason, which is a bit irritating. But anyway, England are champions thanks to all the players we gave them. They are 3rd in the world rankings, behind Brazil and Argentina. Both Brazil and Argentina don't have any creative players, but they're just strong anyway, aren't they? You can see this is like the lineup from the last match. They actually played Springer in goal. You can see Kearney played, Stephen Wolf Jr. of course played, Elliot Kelsey also played, and Jack Osborne up front. Those are the players they seem to go for. But there's a lot of real life players in there as well. The goalkeepers at this moment in time it's actually only Springer in the team. Spinger and Mark Poole are not in the squad, despite having much better current ability than Pickford and Butland. So it's not just about current ability, I guess, it's about form as well. But yeah, it's an interesting team. See, Jack Osborne, 22 goals in 22 games for England. I think he's the first player to actually have 1-in-1. Chris Reed possibly might have 1-in-1 still. He may have picked up since the last stopping point. We'll have a look. Anyway, England doing exceptionally well. They've won the Euros. I said I'd show major tournaments in these overviews as well, just so you can have a look to see how international teams doing and Champions League and that sort of thing. Anyhow, you can see here Lee Gamble and Johnny Darko have also got to 200 current ability. So we've got 3 players on 200 current ability now. Ragnarsson, Kearney, Reed and Marcus Grant are all on 190 line as well. Look at all the players on 190 and above. That is insane. This series has worked really well, actually. There's so many players. We've also got 2 players in there that started on 125 current ability. Messi, Lionel and Felix Alfred. And Haraldson's not too far behind on 188. Rui Couto as well. Yuval David doing really well. The worst player that started on 150, unfortunately, is still... Dagobati and the Rated are down here. Still good players, but haven't developed as well as the others. Richard Sowerby, and it seems to be that Swansea and Hull City signed a lot of players at the start, and the players that went there, their development was halted. I don't know why, it's really strange, but Richard Sowerby has been at Swansea his whole career, and it's done him no favours at all. He's just not developed, and I can't really think of a reason why he wouldn't develop at Swansea, but he hasn't. Still a really good international for Scotland, still a very good player, but considering there's a lot of players that have reached 190 plus that started at the same level as Sowerby, I can't really explain it. Now someone else has commented, I think it's Simon Wakefield, who is actually did create a player for this series as well. He has been commenting saying that he's also run a few simulations on the database and saying that quite a few players signed for Swansea and Hull City on his as well, and their progress was halted when they moved there. So it's a bit odd. Let me know if Richard Sowerby has done well on your save. I hope he has, because I don't want him to always fail in these saves. So it's just he's been let down by Swansea, I think. Okay, let's just go through the list as usual and have a look. Howardinho is now earning £400,000 a week at Man City. He's not even the best player. Look, he's got 179 current ability. He's decent, but he's not amazing. But he's earning 400k a week at City. He must have an incredible agent, or he must have some sort of finance business diploma thing, or masters in money, something like that. He's doing really well. Value-wise, it's actually Sam Morris and Gamble now the best value players. £66 million. Has we need to check to see if Fabara has managed to find a club, and he has. He's moved to Palermo. 141 current ability. Suddenly shot up as well since moving to Palermo, so that's good to see. Him and Syria now on 141 current ability. Caps wise, you can see here Gopi's now got up to 65 caps, 25 goals in those 65 caps. Aidan Broderick is on 63 as well. He's got 26 goals. Elliot Kelsey is the most capped English player. He's doing really, really well on this save. Not as good current ability as Stephen Wolf Jr., but he has actually got more caps at international level. If we look at the goals, Chris Reed, 49 goals in 53 games. Can he get that 1-in-1 record? I really hope so, because at the moment it's only Jack Osborne, I think, that does have that. There might be a few other players lower down, but just go down, but, you know, there's less goals. There's less games that they would have played, so it wouldn't be as impressive. The only players that don't have caps now, it's still the same 5 English players, actually. Youth caps. Matt White actually did get some more youth caps. He's up to 45. Will he get any more? He's 23 years old. He's got 2 English caps, but 45 under 21 caps, which is impressive, to be honest. Stephen Wolf Jr. has broken the 300 game barrier, and we've got a few other players, Westergaard and McGarry, that have broken the 100 goal barrier for their career. Last season, Chris Harris made the most appearances, and goals wise it was Paulo Montrario. He's having a really good time at Atletico Madrid, and he has progressed once again to 166 current ability. So the Nigerian striker, 16 goals in 23 games, since moving to Atletico on a free transfer, has been absolutely fantastic for them, scoring lots of goals, which is great to see. Assists wise, Messi Lionel with 19 leading the way at Barcelona. Exceptional player, as you can see here. He's actually gone up to, he's still on 194 current ability. That shouldn't change now. Average rating, it was actually Stephen Wolf Jr. again, another really good season for him. Right then, our last stopping point for today's video. We're now at the age of 24. We're coming to the end of that time where we will be progressing in leaps and bounds. At this point, we're starting to reach our peak. Some players have already reached that peak. As you can see here, there's a vast number of players that have reached 200 current ability. Gamble, Ragnarsson, Kearney, Marcus Grant, Chris Reed, Alex Williams and Johnny Darko. 200 current ability. And there's a few players on 199. Look at all the players. Plus 190. It's insane how well they are doing here. Arthur has actually got up to 194 current ability, the same as Messi Lionel. Can Arthur become the best 125 current ability player? It looked like Messi Lionel would be, but remember his potential was 194, so you can't really get past that. But there's some real good stories in here. The worst player in terms of current ability, it's not like you're a bad player, is actually now Joel Bayford. It's not Surya, it's not Fabara, he's actually gone up to 148 now. He's doing well at Palermo. So good. Surya, well done, you're not the worst now. It's actually Joel Bayford. Welsh international has actually done well for Wales. 13 goals in 38 games is a good record. And he plays for Dortmund, a very good team. And look at this, he signed for £32 million. I think PSG probably ruined him a little bit at the start. Although, to be fair, he was alright, but it was in the reserves. But then he moved to Fulham on loan, had a decent season, not a great average rating. But £32 million for the worst player in this series at the moment is a lot of money. So it just shows that despite being the worst player, it doesn't mean you're not going to have a big transfer fee. The only problem is they only played him in the first season. And last season they didn't play him. This is the season that's just about to happen. He didn't play a single league game last season. He only played 2 cup games, and that's a bit annoying. For a £32 million player, they're wasting him a bit. So hopefully they give him some more game time this season and he can push on a bit in his career. He is a good player. He's not bad at all. Okay, let's go through the list as usual. Just show you the club situation. You can see Arsenal have signed so many players. It's ridiculous. So have Chelsea. Everton have got 4. Barcelona now have 3 players. Alex Grandage has moved there. Hull City still have 3 players. Juventus have a few. Liverpool have a few. Man City have loads. Man United have 5. Napoli have 4. PSG have 6 players. Real Madrid now have 6 players as well. Stoke City have 6 players. Swansea, Richard Selby is still stuck there. I feel sorry for him. Maybe we should save him and deliberately move him on. Spurs have 4 players. And Udinese have 3. So there's a mixture, but most of the players are now at really big teams, as you can see there. So wage-wise, Howardinho still earning the most, 400k a week. You are a very rich man. Vestergaard is second, alongside Darko with 375k a week. Look at all the players that are earning like over 200k a week and over 100k a week. It is ridiculous. The lowest wage is actually Terry Fayed, who is now on loan at Dynamo Kiev. We'll have a look at him in detail when I upload Emulating Messi episode 3. You can say his current abilities moved on to 156, so he has progressed, and maybe he's terrifying a few defences now. Value wise, Yuval David is the most expensive player. £68 million he is worth. He has done really well in this actually, because he started on 125 current ability. He's now at 193, doing really well. Sam Morris and Daniel Carter both worth 67 million. The least is actually Charlie Blissett at Norwich. Now remember, the value-wise could be affected by the fact maybe your contract's about to run out, so that can have an impact on that sort of thing as well. Moving on to world reputation, we've got a 5-star reputation player. It's Peter Polly, who has finally left Manchester City. He moved for 35.5 million. I don't think Man City were really getting the best out of him. Last season with PSG, he did score 18 goals and had his best average rating. So it's good that he's moved from Man City, because they were kind of neglecting him a bit, I would say. He has got 199 current ability, so he's one of the best players in the world. Caps wise, Elliot Kelsey is now the most capped player. For England, he has got 76 caps. He, at the age of 24, if he continues until he's like 30 odd, he's going to have so many caps. It's going to be ridiculous. Broderick's also got 72, as has Daniel Carter. Goals wise, That Chris Reed has improved again. 64 goals in 66 games. So close to 1 in 1. I hope he can get it. I really do. It's going to be tough because as he gets older, his goal scoring record might dry up a bit. If he continues to play for Canada, he might retire early from international duty. A lot of quality players tend to retire early. So youth caps, the most caps was in fact Matt White. He managed to get 3 more despite being aged 23/24. That surely has finished now. Surely he won't get any more youth caps because he's 24 years old, for goodness sake. Youth goals, it was actually Alex Newton, 17 goals. Well, alongside Cesar Sarri, as you can see there. They both got 17 goals. In fact, Sarri's goals to game ratio was much better, so he won that one. Let's say Alex Newton's now gone to Stoke, actually. Looking at that, remember he was top, well, if you watched Emulating Messi episode 2, you'll know he was top goal scorer in the Premier League a few seasons ago, but he's only got 1 cap for England because there's so many good strikers. In fact, I'll just show you, there's now only 3 players that don't have a cap: Michael Davies, Woodhouse and Ethan Rowe. Everyone else has caps. So some of these English players have now managed to get a few caps under their belt. All-time appearances, Stephen Wolfe Jr., 361. There's a few players that have managed to break the 300 game barrier now, quite a few in fact. And all-time goals, no one's managed to get to 200 yet, but Vestergaard isn't too far behind. 161 goals in 322 games, that is a goal every 2 games. Really good record for the Norwegian. This past season, Max Springer has managed to get 66 appearances under his belt for Stoke City. Paulo Montreria managed to get 61. Goals-wise, Paulo Montreria, 47 goals in 61 games. He has turned into a superstar. He's a bit of a late bloomer in a way. Not a really late bloomer because they're only 24, but at the age of 21, it didn't look like he was going anywhere. In the last 3 years, he has progressed massively and is doing really well. I know he actually joked in the comment section of the last video saying he'll be a late bloomer, and he actually is, because he is doing exceptionally well. And the last few seasons, he scored so many goals. It's amazing. He's got 133 goals in 253 games now in his life, which is really good. Assists-wise, Howardson for Man City with 22 assists. We also saw Rio Couto and Sam Morris get 20 assists. And Howardson actually with the best average rating as well. You can see Stephen Wolfe Jr. is injured. Ooh. I wonder how... Oh, it's a serious injury as well. 4 to 5 months. So I wonder how long he's been injured. But that is a pretty serious injury for him. Hopefully that won't have too much of an impact on him. But it could well do. We might see a career-ending injury at some point. Hopefully not though. So we'll just have a quick look at World Golden Ball. Over the past 3 years, we have seen Stephen Wolfe Jr. finish second. Really good achievement from him. But no one's managed to finish first yet. Lionel Messi still leading the way at the age of 34. It is a lot to do with reputation, this competition as well, isn't it? You see it in real life. Stephen Wolfe Jr. also second on World Player of the Year. World Team of the Year, I think we've seen a few players in there. Kearney, Wolfe Jr. and Grandage and James Spence also in that list for the most recent World Team of the Year. And the season before, Stephen Wolfe Jr. on that as well. I think that was it though. And the season before, he's on there as well. But I think he was the only one again. So real life players do seem to have the advantage in this. Champions League, Man United have won twice in a row. And Arsenal have actually been runners-up the last 2 seasons, so a bit unfortunate for them. Juventus won it this year, so we've got a few Juventus players in there. So it does mean we've got a lot of players that have now won the Champions League, if you look at those winners. And the Euro Cup, you can see, has really been dominated by English teams and a couple of Italian teams as well. So plenty of players winning European competitions so far for us, which is good to see. Now, I'm going to end it here. I will show all the league tables in Emulating Messi Extra Episode 3. I'll show them at the start, so if you want to see them, go over and watch that in a couple of hours when it's uploaded, or it may already be out now if you're watching a bit later on. Thank you so much for watching. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed today's video and you're looking forward to how these players are going to progress in the future. Some of these players, they're just so good and they've already reached their peak and they're going to break records, aren't they? How many records will they break internationally and at club level? It's crazy. But thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.